Hello and a very good afternoon from the beautiful Polish capital of Warsaw. I'm just about to make my way across the road to Warszawa Centralna, that's Warsaw Central Station, and today I'll be travelling aboard a České dráhy intercity service down to Prague. It's a journey of about 8 hours today. I've booked a first class ticket and beyond that I don't really know what to expect, to be honest. But I guess we'll find out in a moment as I'm just about to make my way across to the station and yeah, let's go to Prague. As the name suggests, Warszawa Centralna, or Warsaw Central, is located in the city centre, with connection to the city's vast network of trams and buses, seemingly surrounding the station building, as well as interchange access to the Warsaw Metro, located within. Despite dating from the mid-1970s, the concourse actually looks quite bright, modern and airy. This is thanks in part, at least, to the fact it was refurbished in time for the Euro 2012 football championships. That massive queue there is for the ticket sales counters. Sure makes me glad that I booked my ticket online. As with the vast majority of cross-border trains in Europe, the service we're catching is operated in cooperation between all the countries which it is travelling through. As such, in addition to the Czech Republic's České dráhy, Poland's PKP Intercity also sell tickets for it. For a moderately sized station, there really is a rather good selection of shops and restaurants on offer here, with everything from small convenience stores to the golden arches of McDonald's at your disposal. Now, you're probably going to want to pick up some supplies before starting your journey, as there's only a very limited catering offer on this afternoon's service, and it's only available while the train is in the Czech Republic, which won't be for some 5 hours once we depart. Head down these stairs and you'll find the passageway from which the platforms can be accessed. You'll also find quite a few more shops down here. The platforms are then found on the level below. Lifts are provided to take you between the levels, should you require them. My goodness, there's a lot of people down here. Rail travel is seemingly very popular here in Poland, and it's very common here to board a train and find it's either fully booked or standing room only. However, thankfully I have a seat reservation for today's trip down to Prague. Seen departing here is an Express Intercity Premium new Pendolino set. This is the flagship of PKP Intercity's fleet, and I took a look at one about 18 months ago, which you'll find the review of in the top right corner of the screen now. Our train should be here soon, as it's appeared on the information screens. By the way, I love these screens, as they're very clear and easy to read, and they even show you whereabouts on the platform each coach should stop. Departure today is scheduled for 1:25 with our service being IC 112 to Praha Hlavní nádraží, or Prague Main Railway Station. Our train arrives from nearby Warsaw East Station on time. This PKP EP09 electric locomotive will take us as far as Bohumin, just the other side of the Czech border, with the front two Polish coaches also terminating there. The rest of the train will go right the way through to Prague. Surprisingly for such a long journey, there's only one first class coach, and it's located right at the rear of the train, in the form of this AEE 140. These date from between 1974 and 1985. Unfortunately for solo travellers such as myself, only compartment style seating is offered in first class. with each being able to accommodate up to 6 passengers. Now, the service is absolutely rammed at the moment, meaning that the compartment tour will have to wait for a bit, as to not disturb my fellow passengers. We depart Warsaw on time at 1:25. As we begin our journey, let's just take a quick look at our route for today. After departing Warsaw West, it's full speed ahead towards Katowice and the Czech Republic, and continuing via the likes of Ostrava and Pardubice. Today's journey will see us covering a distance of 745 kilometers or 463 miles. Scheduled travel time is 8 hours and 31 minutes, and our top speed will be 160 km an hour or 99 miles an hour.
Dzień dobry, witamy w pociągu.
A few minutes after departure, we call at Warsaw West Station, which is currently undergoing some much needed refurbishment works. After departing Warsaw West, it's full speed ahead towards Katowice and the Czech Republic.
Dzień dobry, witamy Państwa w pociągu Eurocity Silesia o numerze 112 ze stacji Warszawa.
At Zachodnia, we pass an old fighter jet and steam locomotive parked up in the adjacent building. Now, I'm not exactly sure what makes and models they are, but I'm sure someone can fill us in with info on that in the comments below. Around 3 hours into the journey, we arrive in the city of Katowice. Located between Kraków and Wrocław, Poland's second and fourth largest cities respectively, this is an important railway junction, being one of a number of points where the north-south services meet the east-west ones. Right, now that I have the place to myself for a bit, let's see what these compartments have to offer. The door to the compartment can be closed and, interestingly for a daytime train, locked too. Curtains are also provided here for extra privacy. In terms of legroom, even when there's someone sitting opposite you, I found it to be rather good. By the window there's a little table with a bin underneath. A lever can be found under the seat, which will allow you to slide the base forwards, giving you a little bit of recline. Another set of curtains can also be found by the window. As is common on older trains, you can open the window should you want a bit of fresh air. Plug sockets can be found in various locations around the compartment. I seem to remember there being 4 to share between 6 seats, which isn't too bad considering the train's age. Each seat is provided with a reading light on the underside of the luggage racks. The racks themselves are actually pretty spacious, and should take anything up to a decently sized suitcase. Above the door you'll find a few dials. One controls the volume of PA announcements, one controls the temperature of the compartment, and lastly, one controls the lighting. As compartments go, well, perhaps a bit dated in appearance, they're certainly nice enough for me. At about 5:30, we arrive in the border village of Chałupki, which is our final stop in Poland. "10 minutes later and we're in the Czech border town of Bohumin. Note that as both Poland and the Czech Republic are members of the Schengen zone, there are no formal border checks. We'll be stopped here in Bohumin for just over 15 minutes while the Polish coaches are detached and we swap out our loco for a Czech one. With that all complete, we're back on our way once more, and note that the train also reverses direction here. Just over 5 minutes later, we call at Ostrava-Svinov. This is the Czech Republic's third largest city, and the Ostrava to Prague route is one of the most important railway corridors in the country. As such, quite a few people board both here and at nearby Svinov station. Also note that, due to various little hold-ups throughout the trip, we're now running around 10 minutes late. After departing Ostrava, the crew came round handing out bottles of water, which I thought was a nice touch. Dusk is soon very much upon us, as we continue on west. With there now being very little to see outside, I think it's time for a wander. As I mentioned at the start of the video, this is the only first class coach. Behind our coach is a second class compartment coach. While still only featuring 6 seats, these are considerably less comfortable than their first class counterparts. Behind this, there are a couple of open saloon coaches. Again, I don't think that this would be a great place to spend over 8 hours, as the seats don't look that great and it does seem rather crowded. Now, I had hoped to get a shot out of the back of the train, but there were some coaches out with the usual consist of this train that were locked out of service. I assume that this must have just been an empty coaching stock move, as the lights were off and it would appear that no one was in. Well, I'm loving the fake tiling on the walls of the toilets. While everything was working as intended, I think it's fair to say that it wouldn't hurt if someone ran a cloth round them once in a while. Lastly, this train is Wi-Fi enabled, and you know what? The speed ain't bad at all. One thing I do like about compartments at night, providing that you have it to yourself that is that you can turn off the lights and just watch as the night glides on by. Personally, I find this to be really relaxing, and it was great until someone joined me again at Olomouc and turned the lights back on. Olomouc is up next, which is notable for its Baroque-style Holy Trinity column. We eventually arrive in Pardubice, a city well known for its abundance of sporting events, which include horse and motorcycle racing, and the Czech Open in both golf and chess. We eventually arrive at Praha hl.n, our first stop in the Czech capital. Personally, I've been left feeling pretty underwhelmed by this service. Given the length of the journey, it would have been nice if this had been a proper Eurocity service, which would have meant there would have been a much higher level of comfort, and a more extensive catering offer, which would have likely included one of České dráhy's fantastic dining cars, like what they include on their services to Berlin. While there would appear to be one Eurocity service per day between Warsaw and Prague, it departs before 6 AM, meaning that, in my opinion at least, the rail service between these two great European capitals is rather poor. Another thing I thought was quite poor was the cost, as I paid 1,144 Czech crowns for my one-way first-class ticket. By Central European standards, that is really quite expensive, and is even nearly double the cost of my 6-hour high-speed blast in first class aboard a German Intercity Express train that featured in Monday's video. For me, there really are too many shortcomings with this service, but what are your views on it? Be sure to let me know in the comments below. Then my camera unfortunately had a malfunction, so I've had to sort of reconstruct the end of the footage from other bits and pieces I have. But we did eventually arrive into Praha hlavní nádraží about 15 minutes late, at about 10:05. With that, I do hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, be sure to help us out by giving it a like. If you're new to the channel, then be sure to subscribe and enable notifications, as I publish new trip reports every Monday and Friday. Thanks a lot for watching, and I'll see you on Friday.